Have you ever had a moment when life keeps moving forward, but deep down, you feel like nothing really matters? Your job feels like mechanical repetition. Relationships start to feel cold and empty. Even breathing feels heavy. And you ask yourself, why am I even alive? What's the point of all this? That's exactly the question this book tries to answer. Man's Search for Meaning. The author, Viktor Frankl, was an Austrian psychologist, but his most important lessons weren't born in a classroom. They were carved out of hell itself. During World War II, he was thrown into a Nazi concentration camp, a place with no dignity, no freedom, no future. You never knew if you'd live to see tomorrow. Death was everywhere. Every day, people collapsed. Some died from hunger and exhaustion, but many more died from despair. They no longer believed in a future. They had nothing left to hold on to. And in that shadow of death, Frankl saw something shocking. What determined survival wasn't just a strong body. It was whether a person still had a reason to live. He noticed that those who had the highest chance of surviving were the ones holding on to a purpose. Someone thought, I need to get out to see my wife again. Another thought, I have to finish the work I started. Others believed, I must live to tell the world what happened here. And Frankl himself kept telling himself one thing, I have to survive, because I need to write down my ideas. I need to show the world that even in suffering, humans can still choose their attitude. They can still live with meaning. That's why this book is so powerful. It's not a theory created in a safe study. It's truth written with blood and tears. Frankl wrote, a man can endure almost any suffering, if he can find a reason for it. Think about that for a moment. Doesn't that hit you deep inside? We often think happiness means a life without pain, without setbacks, without suffering. But Frankl said, what really breaks people is not the pain itself, it's the feeling that pain has no meaning. In other words, humans don't live just to chase pleasure. We live to search for meaning. So how can we actually use this in our lives? Here's where it gets interesting. Frankl created something called logotherapy, and the core is simple. Even when you can't change your situation, you can always choose your attitude. He shared a powerful story. An old man had lost his wife and was drowning in grief. He felt like life was meaningless. Frankl asked him, if you had died first, what would have happened to your wife? The man went silent for a long time and finally said, she would have been devastated. Frankl nodded. Then by living through this pain, you have spared her that suffering. You're carrying that burden for her. Tears streamed down the man's face. For the first time, he realized that even his suffering had meaning. And maybe you're thinking, this sounds too philosophical. But let's bring it back to our daily lives. We all hit low points. You lose your job and suddenly feel worthless. But what if this is a chance to find a career that actually matters to you? You go through heartbreak and it feels like your world is falling apart. But without that experience, you might never learn what real love and real growth actually mean. Pain isn't a punishment. It's a reminder to search for new meaning. Inside the camp, Frankl lost everything. His freedom, his family, even his dignity. But there was one thing the Nazis could never take away: his freedom to choose his response. He couldn't decide what happened to him, but he could decide how to face it. That, he said, is the last of human freedoms. And that's the heart of man's search for meaning. We cannot escape suffering, but we can discover meaning inside it. And meaning is what keeps us alive. So if you're going through pain right now, don't rush to dismiss your life as worthless. Ask yourself, what does this experience mean for me? Can it help me grow? Can it help me take responsibility? Can it make me more complete? Frankl reminds us, we don't live just to chase temporary happiness. We live to answer one deeper question. What meaning can I give to my life? That's what this book is all about. A book born in hell that still manages to bring us light. Because even in the darkest depths, humans still have a choice. We can still find a reason to live. And maybe that's the greatest power we'll ever have.